I've been having a really interesting day. I've met some fabulous people. And actually, some of the speakers this morning did part of my work for me, which is great because I got way too many things to say in 10 minutes. But what I want to talk to you about is how I think that meditation is the next big thing. Now, I know in the tech world and in industry generally, everybody wants to anticipate what the next big thing is, right? That might guarantee your success. So I actually think it's not something about technology, though it's very related to technology. But before I do that, I want to address a question which I often get. It's probably my most frequently asked question. Sometimes after a talk or a workshop or a concert or something, somebody will come up to me from the audience, very kind of shy, and I realized they were afraid to ask this in front of everyone else. And they'll say, I've just been wondering the whole time, why are you dressed like that? And of course, then I know that they didn't even heard a word I said. So I think it's better to answer this question at the beginning, so there's a chance you'll actually listen. So it's very simple. I'm from New Zealand, and everybody in New Zealand dresses like this. Not really. I'm a yoga monk, so I practice yoga and meditation, and I teach that, and I've been doing that for about the last 38 years. And I am actually from New Zealand, that part's true. As Jatin said, I've recently begun teaching meditation and creativity in corporations. And as I said, one of the earlier speakers, Dr. Phillips, he was showing us how meditation is really catching on in the corporate world, and the media's covering it. There was this wonderful graph showing the media coverage of mindfulness and related practices over the last few years, and it's an exponential curve. It's really picking up. And I was watching an interview with Dan Harris, the NBC newsreader. He's got a best-selling book on the #1 New York Times bestseller, I think, about mindfulness and meditation. And he was giving this talk and going on about all the benefits of meditation. And he comes to this as something of a skeptic. And he said the thing that convinced him was the science. There's been a huge amount of research in recent years using modern technology. So technology has given us all these tools to measure what's going on inside a living brain for the first time in history. We can get some idea at least. It's kind of crude still, but we can see which parts of the brain are hotter. We can measure blood flow in different portions of the brain, and we're beginning to identify through fMRI scans and EEG and other brain measuring technology what's actually going on. And this has led to a huge amount, an increasing amount of research into the effects of meditation. So we're using something very new to measure the effect of something really old. So meditation's been around for about 7,000 years at least. The technique that I practice, one of the techniques I practice, I know, was actually invented 7,000 years ago. So it's the most tested technique for altering mood in the history of the world. And it doesn't have any negative side effects. It has tons of positive effects. And it just starts with stress management and things like lowering your blood pressure and all of those fairly measurable effects. But it goes on. The list is really, I could tell you 100 benefits of meditation. The areas I'm particularly interested in are how meditation cultivates our sense of connection with other people, our sense of empathy, compassion, and love. And of course, that influences our relationships. And really, I speak with people in the workplace, and I say, what's the most important thing to you? And for many of them, the biggest problem is their relationship with their boss. Anybody ever experienced conflict or dissatisfaction or discomfort in that kind of hierarchical structure where somebody's got power over you and you don't feel that it's working well? So that's very common. Just Teams, how do teams work together? How do they collaborate? It's all about relationships and empathy and being able to listen to one another, and meditation really enhances that. So that's a big thing. So the second thing that I think is really important about meditation is it helps us to make smart decisions. And I call that wisdom. So love, wisdom. The way I put it is it stops us doing dumb things. If we don't have any control over our emotions or impulses, we end up doing a lot of dumb stuff. Some of you may have actually been through a phase in your life, perhaps when you were 14, or some of you might still be 14, but when we're teenagers, we begin to learn about that, and some of us survive it, and we go on and realize that we have to learn to control impulses if we want to lead a life that isn't a big disaster. So wisdom is really about pausing for a second and thinking, what's the outcome of this? Is this going to have a good result for me and everybody concerned? Meditation helps you to do that because it helps you to reflect on yourself and not react instantly and lash out, maybe in anger. The third thing, which is perhaps the least important actually, but for me it's really important because I'm a creative artist and a writer and a musician, is creativity. Ever since way before the Greeks, people have been trying to figure out where ideas come from. And I know that's a big obsession in technical industry, technology industry, and in industry in general. Everybody wants the new idea. So ideas don't come from outside. They're sometimes stimulated by things from outside. And our first speaker of the day, I thought, did a great job of explaining how creative environments can stimulate creativity. What I'm interested in is how do we create an internal environment where we connect with our internal muse, the source of ideas. Because all the technology in the world has one source, the human mind. So I'm really interested in figuring out how to connect directly to that source. And in my experience, meditation is an incredibly powerful tool to do that. And that's why it's being adopted more and more by people in the corporate world, in the academic world, in education, and in the even it's been used to help veterans suffering from post-traumatic stress disorder and so forth. So those are some of the reasons why meditation can help people, why it's relevant to the corporate world. What I really wanted to do today is actually try it out. And because, if we're thinking about where ideas come from, they come from inside of us, we're going to do a little exercise to connect with our inner selves. Because technology is wonderful. I use it all the time. I've got a customized iPhone cover with my logo on it. I'm not that I don't like technology, and I'm also a little addicted to it. But I think what tends to happen is it really takes us out of ourselves too much, and we kind of forget who we are. And we need something like meditation to remind ourselves what it is to be human and what's important about that, and to spend more time with ourselves and with other human beings and not just with electronic facsimiles of life. So we're going to do a little meditation so you can get a little taste of that. One of the things I use to make meditation easier, well, first I'd like to know, how many of you have tried meditation of some kind at some point? Lots of you, great. How many of you meditate every day? This is harder. Okay, some of you. Okay, excellent. When I started meditating in 1975, nobody had heard of it, at least in New Zealand, pretty much. And all my friends and family thought I'd finally lost my last marble. Now, I can talk to an audience like you, and majority of you have at least tried meditation. That's a huge shift. It makes my job a lot easier. All right, we're going to try a little meditation. I want to use this mic, I think. Is this one on? Where's the switch? There we go. It should be on. It's on here. Is that working? Okay. Because the popularization, or the recent popularization of meditation, a lot of it's about technology, and it's often presented as mindfulness and as simply focusing on the present. But really, I know that meditation is much more than that, and it can bring you an experience that's much more than just being peaceful and not being stressed, and it goes way beyond that. So it can be a very profound, satisfying, emotional experience. And so I use music to help create the mood, and that makes meditation a lot easier. Because a lot of people come from work and they're really busy, their minds are overactive, that's why they want to meditate in the first place, they can't stop thinking. Anyone here have trouble stopping thinking? Okay, so if someone just tells you, look, just be mindful and concentrate, how helpful is that? There is no quicker way that I know of changing your mood than music. You can come home from work and you might be really frazzled, you might be kind of tired, you put on your favorite piece of music, nice and loud, and it can change your mood in a few seconds. So music is a really powerful mood changer. So I use it to help people get into a meditative mood to make it easier. And then what I teach is what's called a mantra. So a mantra is a word or a phrase, and we are going to learn a mantra. So it's got 3 words, it's in Sanskrit, and I want you all to repeat it after me so that at least you got that bit right. This is the most important thing I'm going to tell you all day, okay? So I want you to remember this. The first word is Baba. It kind of means love. Let's keep it simple. It means love. So Baba, very good. Nam and Kevalam. So it's Baba, Nam, Kevalam. So one more time. Baba, Nam, Kevalam. Nam, Kevalam. Pretty good. Okay. I'm going to sing it, and if you pick it up, you're welcome to. But I want you to close your eyes. Let's see how you're sitting. Sit straight, like they say in school. If the teacher wants you to concentrate, you sit straight. Lesson number 1. Lesson number 2, by the way, is don't meditate straight after lunch. So this is actually the kind of worst time of day to try and meditate. So we're going to keep it real short. And the other thing is breathing. So when you're sitting straight, you'll find you can breathe more easily. Relax your shoulders, close your eyes. Take a deep breath through your nose if you can comfortably. And then just breathe out. And I'll just sing the mantra for you for a couple of minutes and guide you through a very simple meditation using this mantra. Baba Nam Kevalam 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 Kevalam, Babanam, Kevalam, Babanam, Kevalam, Babanam, Kevalam. Now just keep your eyes closed and let the mantra Bhavanam Kevalam and the music continue in your mind, just as though the voice of your memory were playing it back to you. So you don't need to make any effort, you're just listening. You're listening to this inner voice singing to you. And what it's telling you is that there is a place deep within you of perfect peace and love and happiness. And that's where all the love and peace and happiness you've ever experienced comes from. It comes from inside you. And this voice that is singing to you is coming from that inner place and drawing you inward to this place of perfect peace. And if your mind wanders, some other thought comes, don't worry, that's perfectly natural. As soon as you notice that, just bring your attention back to the mantra and the music. We'll just meditate silently like that for a moment. Bhavanam Kevalam, Bhavanam Kevalam, Bhavanam Kevalam, Bhavanam Kevalam. You can open your eyes now if you wish, or you can stay and meditate for the rest of the afternoon. That's probably not a bad idea. So that's a really short little taste of meditation. You know, I calculated roughly that I've spent about 30,000 hours sitting in meditation, so it usually takes more than a couple of minutes to really stay in that place. So, but I'd really like you all to have a little taste and to understand that there is more to meditation than just mindfulness. Mindfulness is the beginning. It's a very important first step, being in the present, but meditation goes way beyond that. You know, as I said, Dan Harris, this NBC newsreader, he said that he thinks meditation is going to be the next big thing. It was his prophecy for the day. And I was actually slightly annoyed when he said this, because he said this a couple of months ago. Back in January, I was speaking to a Cisco group, and I said almost exactly the same thing, almost word for word. I don't think he pinched it from me, because I'm sure he hasn't heard of me. But I sort of thought, darn it. That's what I said, you know what I mean? So I was saying, you know, I reckon the way that it's going, the way that science is verifying what yogis have known for 7,000 years already, you know, that meditation actually does make you less stressed and more calm and more creative and loving and kind, and all of these things, that, you know, they've known that for a long time, but finally science is proving it to skeptics. That has accelerated the rate of acceptance of this practice, and you know, what Dan and I said is that in the next 10 years, it's going to be as accepted as brushing your teeth and exercising as a necessary part of every day. If you want to be the person you could be, if you want to develop your potential, if you want to be healthy, if you want to be happy. And that seems pretty important to me. So if you want to learn more about that, you can go to my website. I have a brand. My brand is The Monk Dude. So you should be able to remember that, themonkdude.com, and you can download a free guided meditation similar to what we did today, and I want you to practice every day, twice a day, for the rest of your lives. Okay? Thanks very much.